Hi, Philippa Thornton, Director of the Resource Therapy Institute Australia, here today to talk to you about Vaded states. I'm continuing the series on Vaded states. Today we're going to talk about our V.i.F states, Vaded in fear. Vaded in fear are resource states that are overwhelmed with a fearful type of emotion. There are our clients that are suffering anxiety in all its forms or phobias. And what happens when that state that's vaded in fear comes into the conscious, it's going to cause a lot of angst and distress for our clients. It's a very good thing, and I love treating anxiety. I love seeing people with anxiety because I say to people, you're so lucky to have it in a way because it is very treatable. And they sort of sigh a big relief hearing that. And it's a bit of fun. I remember a particular person, I saw a young man and he called me in great distress because he was unable to board his flight for his honeymoon. And of course we always say to come in earlier, but he was vaded in fear around this flight. And what we do with vaded in fear, that's easy. We use, of course, diagnosis. We know it's a state vaded in fear because just even talking about it would bring up that fear. You can see a person having those symptoms of arousal. Same with panic attacks. States vaded in fear present with panic attacks. Very treatable. So what we do is then use Vivify specific. Now for this particular person, vaded, he was working in construction. And this anxiety would present in being in closed spaces, going in lifts, or also and with heights. Often a lot of anxiety is generalizable and can come out in different situations. It's important you check all those situations with imagery check later on after you've done the Vaded in fear process using Resource Therapy Action 2 where we vivify specific. So we have a person, that would be easy. You have them in the lift, really experiencing that anxiety in your room in the moment. And then, of course, we use Resource Therapy Action 3, bridging, which absolutely you have to come to the training course to learn that. This is more than I can give in a 5-minute video. So easy, so worthwhile, where we bridge to the initial sensitizing event. And for this particular person, it was when we bridge back to a time when he was 4 years of age, and there he is on a building site. Surprising, it can be related and not related. And he was 4, and he remembers also seeing his dad laughing at him. But what he's most afraid of, and I totally get this myself, having been raised in New Zealand where we have big tractors and stuff, they're scary. He was 4, and there's a great big digger with those huge big wheels coming over, and he's right here, and for him at 4 that feels like he's going to die because he's going to be run over by this thing. Of course Dad's laughing because it looks hilarious from an adult's perspective, but from a 4-year-old's perspective it is really scary. And of course we get a name always for that vaded state we're dealing with. It was called scared. Surprise. Now scared was able to shrink that introject down, which was the dozer. It was a big bulldozer, and right into a matchbox sized little toy, and get it to be gone from his space there, because we're dealing with the imagination. Any fear is usually in the past, okay? So, and we do therefore Vaded expression, so it's able to speak. That's Resource Therapy Action 4, where that little 4-year-old scared could say what he needed to say and feel the power of being in control of a situation, because a lot of anxiety, a lot of vaded fear, you feel out of control. That's a key state. And so we empower the state. That's what I love about resource therapy. It's such an empowering therapy. It's a solution focus, really. We build resilience. And then, of course, we do removal. We get rid of anything that's in that space, and we find relief. We find a nurturing state for that little 4-year-old scared, change its name, and so scared becomes safe quite often. I'm amazed at how many times it's there, because Resource Therapy Action 7 is relief, where we find another resource state that has the nurturing abilities, care, whatever that resource state needed at the time. And the beautiful thing about having a relief state like that nurturing, loving state, it promotes what I like as attachment. It's never going to go, because it's an internal state, and that state can go stronger and be available to many other resources. It's fantastic. And of course, then we do an imagery check, Resource Therapy Action 12, after, of course, we have found a mature, resource, which is Resource Therapy Action 8. I love Resource Therapy Action 8. That's where we find a part that has the abilities and skills needed to handle with the right level of emotion and flair for that, whatever the presenting situation, a preferred state that has those skills, really. And it's going to be an adult state. Quite often those younger parts are unaware that this person's grown up now, and we find that, and then we use Resource Therapy Action 12 to check the imagery, doing an imagery check, and see that that's worked. And Resource Therapy Action 12 is very useful, because if there's other Vaded states informing this, you will be able to bridge back very quickly, using the body, and just so quickly you can clear up a lot of Vaded states very quickly and allow that person. So those, usually with anxiety, depending on, they can be about 4 to 5 sessions, or you may even nail it in one session. It can be a one session wonder. So that is the protocols for Vaded in fear, using 1 to 8. We don't usually use Introject Speak in that. So if this was helpful, please share it with your friends and help others learn about resource therapy. I'd love to hear your comments. Perhaps you've treated anxiety, panic attacks and so forth using resource therapy. Love to hear your experiences. Comment and subscribe in the channel below. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye.